Hey everybody, it's me, producer Dave. Without all the cool lights, it is what it is. It's daytime. This is an excerpt from a live stream, November 21st, 2023. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. There will be a long-form video essay, maybe medium form, about this matter coming out soon. Thanks for watching. Since fucking everybody just showed up in Twitch, like as soon as I started streaming, we'll just kind of get right into it. This is something a lot of people thought was coming. I think it's a long time coming, and I'll go over a little bit of why here. And if you want to read my article, that's !Aaron in the chat. You can read that article, and it has some stuff that I'm not going to go over here and not going to go over in the video I'm putting together. The stuff about him and Alex Stein won't be won't show up tonight and won't be in the video I'm putting together. That stuff's important too, but I want to kind of stay focused. So, I don't like playing this guy's videos. I don't like this guy. He don't like me either. So, he hasn't said anything about me, but one of my goals is to get him to talk shit about me on his fucking channel and send those fucking weirdos after me. Anyway, without any further ado, here's Aaron's version of the story. Aaron was the vice president of the Aftermath Foundation. And as far as I know, the Aftermath Foundation, once again now, is a charity that we can generally recommend around here. They do nothing but good work as far as I can tell. And ran them by a couple people I know in the nonprofit sector, and it looks like their books are all in order and shit too, so they're not squandering the money and shit. So we can once again recommend them, thankfully. Here's Aaron's video on why he is no longer a member of the Aftermath Foundation. And maybe we'll leave the chat on. The chat replay might be a little spicy.
The Church of Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Hello, everyone. I have no idea if this setup is going to work. I have no idea if the Wi-Fi is going to work properly.
Dude, you're on a USB mic. Your setup's going to work fine. Drama queen.
It's not laggy. You guys know I wanted to do a video or two per day while I was here in London on vacation. Turns out the Airbnb that we're in is such that it's impossible for me to record or do anything if I'm home, unless I'm home alone, and I'm never home alone until tonight. Everyone's out seeing Book of Mormon, and I figured, you know what? I'm not a big fan of musicals. Always wanted to see the Book of Mormon, but I think I can sit this one out.
You should have gone to see the Book of Mormon with your wife.
8 days ago, last Sunday, I was voted off the board of the Aftermath Foundation, and I want to do a video about this sooner. But I
look at the chat right here. Hi, Osa. Glad you could join us. These people are so paranoid. If people don't know what that is, that's the Scientology's Operation of Special Affairs. L. Ron Hubbard would like to think of it as Scientology's FBI. I'm not confident that there's a lot of people from the Scientology version of the FBI that were watching this live. They may have caught it on the replay, though.
Want to do any videos until I did this video, and like I said, this is the first opportunity I'm getting to do this video. So let's get to it. I do have some notes in front of me. I'm also working from one screen when you guys might know I'm used to working from 3 screens, so I'm going to try to not make
three. Hold on, how many do you think I have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6.
Let's just do it. So the official reason for my removal was a video that I did 2 weeks ago, calling out an attorney, one of the attorneys representing Val Haney in her trafficking suit against Scientology. And I didn't say the name of the attorney.
We all know it's Graham Barry. And Graham Barry has done nothing but good work representing people who have been harmed by the cult of Scientology. He was very gracious when we asked for an interview. He said, I have ongoing litigation with the cult of Scientology, and I need to be very careful what kinds of shows I go on. He goes, I took a quick look at your show. I think what you guys do is a lot of fun, but it's just not a good fit for me right now. What a totally, he was so nice when he replied to us and told us he was unwilling to come on for an interview.
The title of the video was something like "Attorney Makes Huge Mistake in Scientology Trafficking Case," and that video was about Graham Berry. And you wouldn't know that if you'd seen the video, because I never
Except everybody knew that, you stupid motherfucker.
Graham Berry's name in the video. And, you know, these...
Oh, but the people that watch his shit don't really get information from anywhere else, actually. So they might not have known. Also, sorry about the lighting. Something's up with the lights or my camera. Ever since OBS updated, the lighting is just, if you go back through and look through at the videos, you're like, why is the lighting so dramatically different every time? Fuck, I don't know. My settings are the same.
Plaintiffs are represented by large law firms. These law firms have tons of lawyers. If you already knew that Graham Berry was the one guy who was supposed to show up to that hearing, then you knew that's who I was talking about. And if you didn't already know that, you would never have any clue. Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't look up the Valerie Haney case and see who was representing her.
Apparently, that video that I did about Graham Berry violated the Aftermath Foundation's Code of Ethical Conduct. Now, not only was it a surprise.
Oh no, we're talking about codes of conduct on a Tuesday night when we usually do the city government meetings. That's interesting. What a strange coincidence.
A video such as the one that I did would violate the Aftermath Foundation's Code of Ethical Conduct. It was, in fact, a surprise to me that the Aftermath Foundation had a code of ethical conduct.
Well, no shit. I'm going to show some incidents that happened in 2021 after we're done with this that would also make me be very shocked that this organization had a code of ethical conduct.
Because when Luis Garcia and I...
Let me see if I can turn up the volume on my camera here.
Exactly 6 years ago, we did not create a code of ethical conduct. There never has been one.
Oh, much better.
One was not required. It's not part of our bylaws. It's not part of our incorporation documents.
Why would you not have a code of ethical conduct for your charity that helps survivors of an abusive cult? You might put that first. Anybody ever worked in the nonprofit sector? Siggy Freud, thank you for the thank you. I'm like not being shitty, but it's not Windows.
Anything like that.
Thank you,
turns
though.
Out that less than 12 weeks ago.
Yeah, we run Linux here.
And through a vote that I was not aware of and did not participate in, the foundation adopted a code of ethical conduct.
Yo, you should have done that as part of the initial bylaws. I can't imagine a charity not having a code of conduct especially for the board. I don't imagine I imagine it's like boilerplate, right? You just copy and paste a fucking code of conduct from LegalZoom or some shit.
Prohibits any board members from publicly criticizing any individual or any organization that does any type of work with or for the Aftermath Foundation, or is engaged in any type of work, even similar.
Okay, that first part makes sense. The second part I don't like. Actually, the first part, yeah, if you're on the board of a charity, yeah, don't go publicly criticize your vendors or whatever. Do that internally, yeah. But the second part where that's stupid, where they're tangentially related to the type of work they're doing. I think that's a stupid thing in the code of conduct.
Foundation. Strange, right? Now, if I had been aware that such a code of ethical conduct was being voted on and was being approved, I would have had a difficult decision to make personally. Would I commit to being restrained in what I'm allowed to say on my YouTube channel, or would I voluntarily step down? it's hard for me to say with 100% certainty how I would have handled that at that time. I probably would have signed the document and then crossed that bridge when we came to it. But honestly,
well, that's dishonest. They fucking put the code of conduct in place to kick you off the fucking board. Like, that's why they did it. It's like kind of underhanded. They should have kicked you off the board just because of your conduct. They don't need a code of conduct to be like, this guy's an asshole and shouldn't be representing this charity, and it's making it hard for us to do our work.
It would have put me in a tough position, because I have used my channel to criticize people who needed criticizing. And I've criticized people who, according to this new code of conduct, I would be prohibited from criticizing. So, for example, Chris Shelton. Chris Shelton is someone who could be considered to be engaged in work that is at least similar to the Aftermath Foundation, in that he sort of helps people who are leaving Scientology. Now, after the first Danny Masterson trial resulted in a hung jury and a mistrial, I very publicly criticized Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega.
For why? For
platforming the jury foreman who said publicly that the Jane Does were not credible and were not believed by a majority of the jurors, and that no reasonable jury could ever unanimously.
No, you're mad you didn't get that interview yourself.
The Jane Does credible. Now, at that time, the Jane Does were made aware that this interview was going to be done and going to be published. And the Jane Does asked Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega they didn't say don't publish it. They didn't say don't do it. They said, could you just please wait until the district attorney or the deputy district attorney announces whether he's going to retry Danny Masterson or not. You know, the guy who thinks we were all unbelievable and that nobody would ever find us believable and was actually working with the defense to get the charges against Danny thrown out. Could you just wait on publishing that interview until after the DA makes an announcement about whether he's going to retry?
Yeah, but this isn't about what you said about Chris Shelton.
And Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega said, no, we can't wait. This is a scoop.
On that code of conduct thing too, this is easy. People who are parts of organizations go on shows. I've had people come on here for an interview and say, hey, you know, I'm speaking for myself, not for such and such an organization. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. And that's fine. Actually, that's very standard. And if he just had a thing at the beginning of his fucking video that said, I am speaking as Aaron Smith-Levin, the YouTube creator, not as the vice president of the Aftermath Foundation, then that's fine. But he actually mingled the two in his branding a lot. In fact, at the very beginning, I believe he had that A up. We're at what, 623 if you look at the beginning? Or that's it's the logo for the video itself was the logo for the Aftermath Foundation.
Way. Basically, we're going to say F you to you guys. Okay. I very rightly publicly criticized Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega for doing that.
Did you criticize Chris Shelton when he kept insisting to his black co-host that Black Lives Matter was not a good organization? And then she walked off of his fucking show. Did you criticize him for that? Or was that different? Because I think that's a bad look too, actually.
Based on this new code of ethical conduct that the Aftermath Foundation has adopted, doing that video would be something that would get me removed from the board. So as you can see, it would be a problem for me. Now look, about Granberry.
Well, maybe when you started the organization, you should have had a code of conduct so that way the code of conduct could have been something you agreed with, something that would have made it easy for you to do your YouTube channel, something with language to the effect of, you know, if you take interviews or whatever, and you are not speaking on behalf of the Aftermath Foundation, you're speaking on behalf of yourself. You need to make that very clear at the beginning of the interview. Boom. I don't know what the language would look like. I'm not a fucking lawyer. I don't write codes of conduct.
Granberry is a very competent attorney who has done a lot of good work going up against Scientology for decades. He's an attorney that I and the foundation have sent a ton of business to over the last 6 years.
Except he does a lot of his stuff pro bono. You think these people are getting out of Scientology are fucking, they got deep pockets? You think they got deep pockets, friend?
And I will continue to send business to Graham Barry. When it comes to the type of cases where he's sending demand letters to Scientology to get people's money back, there really is nobody. Graham Barry has no peer when it comes to helping people get their money back from Scientology. When it comes to the recent trafficking cases, many mistakes have been made. Many mistakes have been made. Deadlines have been missed. Incomplete filings have been made. Declarations have been omitted from filings. Mistakes have been made.
Oh, thank you for gifting a sub out to Platimatic.
Those cases just today. So I was not completely out of line in my criticism of Graham Barry. I just want to say I didn't name Graham Barry. Now, Graham sent a letter to me, copying the foundation, all the board members, threatening to sue me if I did not delete that video and publicly apologize. What that video had anything to do with the Aftermath Foundation is beyond me, but I don't want to.
It's because you mingled the two in your branding so much that people watching these videos could reasonably believe that you were speaking on behalf of the Aftermath Foundation. You stupid motherfucker.
Point here for a moment. Now, after discussion with Graham, I did delete that video a couple days after I posted it. I just wanted to say that for the record. And I wanted to say there's no real hard feelings. I mean, if I'm even though, anyway, there's no hard feelings. Okay. So that's the official, hold on, let me switch screens here, you guys, make sure everything's going okay on the stream side of this. Okay, good. Back to my notes. That's the official reason. Now,
he's going to go into what he thinks the reason is, but so am I after this video. Unfortunately, the big one, and people have alluded to it here. I think enough people here know what I'm talking about. I could never verify that, and I know that that you all don't think that it's bad or whatever, but I deeply regret my inability to verify the one story that I was looking into.
Feel there's no official reason that I'm going to give that's going to be like, what are you talking about? How could that be sufficient reason to get rid of you? There were a lot of unofficial reasons discussed in the 30-minute conversation that I and the board had on Sunday evening. What it really comes down to, guys,
is your behavior. It's going to be his behavior.
For a long time now, every time I get into trouble or piss someone off, people go running to Mike Rinder and Claire Headley complaining about me.
They're on the board of the foundation that they're calling for your removal. This isn't some Mean Girls shit, dude. They were calling for, like, my article called for your removal after saying the Aftermath Foundation is good. Those people, whether or not they like you personally, those people thought you shouldn't be the vice president of a charity and behaving the way that you've behaved, basically starting in 2001. I don't know what happened before that. I was reading some shit about some fraudulent business dealings, but I didn't understand it. If there's somebody out there who has a good rundown of this guy's fraudulent business dealings that's written for a layperson, I would be very happy to read it.
Now you might go, who cares? Just tell him to F off. Okay. Every time someone is pissed off at me, they go crying to either Mike Rinder or Claire Headley. Oh my God. Did you hear what Aaron said?
Yeah, but then those people for years circled the fucking wagons. He was selling Herbalife? You got to be shitting me.
How can you let him do this? You must do something about Aaron. Oh my God, did you hear what Aaron's done now? This is horrible. How can you tolerate this? You must do something.
Well, yes. Yes, I know that you think it's funny, but actually, like, I don't. And I know other people that don't. I think one of them people's probably fucking Tony Ortega. I think Graham Barry probably doesn't think that shit's funny either. No, it's not funny. I'm going to show everybody after this just 2 incidents that happened while he was running for office in 2021. Excuse me, that should have had him immediately removed as the vice president.
Any such complaints about me have had nothing to do with the Aftermath Foundation. Nothing. In the 6 years this foundation has existed, there's never been a single complaint about me that had anything to do.
Very nice. Thank you. A breakdown. Ooh, that's.
But they are just sick of being expected to be accountable for what I say and do, or who I've pissed off this week.
No, not this week.
That's their feelings. I cannot blame them for their feelings. Do I think it's correct? No. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. That's what it comes down to. I believe Mike Rinder's words, if I recall correctly, were, I can't remember if this was in an email that he sent to me or if it was in the meeting, but he said, when people think of aftermath.
Missy Maserati up in the YouTube chat. What's up, Missy Maserati?
The Aftermath Foundation. You know, I'm the one who came up with the name Aftermath Foundation.
You named it. Get the fuck out of here. You named it after Leah Remini's show. Came up with it. Fuck off.
He said, people think Mike Rinder. They don't think Aaron Smith-Levin. They don't think Luis Garcia.
Well, they probably think Leah Remini, even though to my knowledge, she's not even on the board, which is, whatever.
I was the vice president of the foundation. Luis Garcia was the president of the foundation. Luis Garcia was forced out about 4 to 5 months ago for similar but unrelated circumstances. And he said, yeah. He said, it's not called the Aaron Smith-Levin Foundation. It's not called the Luis Garcia Foundation. It's called the Aftermath Foundation. And when people think Aftermath, they think Mike Rinder.
Leah Remini.
And I said, well, maybe the reason people think of me when they think of the Aftermath Foundation, or they think of the Aftermath Foundation when they think of me, is because I've been working hard almost every day for 6 years as the vice president of the foundation.
I wonder what he did for the foundation. Like, what actual work did he do for the foundation? I'm curious. I don't know.
Because this organization exists to do 2 things and 2 things only. Raise money to help people leave Scientology and deploy that money helping people leave Scientology.
And again, I want to be really clear. I have no reason to believe that the Aftermath Foundation was doing anything but that.
People like us. It doesn't matter if we like each other. It doesn't matter if people are upset with this person or that person. We have more money on hand than we've ever had before. We're helping more people than we ever had before.
Well, maybe that's why they wanted rid of you. Maybe they reached a certain level and the rest of them realized that you're a problem, that you sully their good name via your behavior.
Make an argument that anyone's upset with me has any impact on the Aftermath Foundation at all. And I said, if Mike Rinder, speaking of Mike, if you, Mike Rinder, have some problem with the fact that people associate the 2 of us in their minds and that's unpalatable to you, you can step down. That's a Mike Rinder problem.
Except that it isn't. There were I'm sorry, was it Mike Rinder? It was he voted to remove you, but so did a bunch of other people.
An Aftermath Foundation problem. And Mike said, I totally agree with you completely. And if my vote to have you removed doesn't go my way, I will resign. Well,
oh, shit. Boy. So he didn't tell us, but he just told us that Mike Rinder was like, listen, If he's not removed from the board of this foundation, I will resign. That's not what he said, but that's what he just said. See, I haven't watched this yet. I waited because I was like, well, I'm either gonna watch it for the on stream or watch it for this video that I'm making, or both. And yeah, the other dude, I don't care who it was like, listen, I can't stay on this board if this other guy is here. It makes me uncomfortable, or I think this guy's an asshole, or he's sullying my name, or any number of reasons. And friendo, even if it was just you versus him, guess what? They picked him. Now, I have to imagine that the other people on the board are aware of the things I'm going to be able to show you tonight, as well as some things that are sort of floating around in the ether that are more difficult, if not impossible, to prove. But those people aren't unaware of this stuff.
Spoiler alert. The vote went Mike's way. Let's be honest, guys. Many of you have detected that there's been something wrong with these relationships for quite a while now. You guys have noticed
I didn't know, actually. I thought that, and I think that I'm, it's all been live. Not a lot of stuff has been recorded, though. I think when I did talk about it, I did publish that. I thought these people were circling the wagons around this asshole because he had a big channel and brought a lot of eyeballs. I thought that's what was going on. Apparently, behind the scenes, that ain't been the case. Yet again, he just told me something I didn't know.
On my channel in about 6 months. That was deliberate.
Hey, wait a minute. Why hasn't Mark Bunker been on your channel, ever? Since 2001. Ever at all. Ever.
In some ways, this has for me, and maybe the others would say it has for them.
Oh, wait, he went on once again, during his run, I think. Oh, fucking Mark Bunker. Why'd you do that?
Toxic relationship that I was never going to leave. I've been...
Well, because you were the toxicity. Those people, I don't think all these other people are fucking saints or whatever. I think Mike Render's a bit of a clout chase. But, I mean, he's got clout. I think this guy was mad he wasn't picked to co-host the show with Leah Remini.
A somewhat humiliating position of craving and needing and wanting the approval and acceptance of people who at this point just honestly don't want me there. And I was never going to leave. I was fighting for dear life to stay. And with a little bit of perspective, it's only been about 8 days. Let's be honest. I feel like they've probably done me a favor at this point.
Why?
Setting me free. I'm not just saying that as a cliche. I really do mean it, because I've had this hanging over my head for quite some time now that, oh boy, if these guys have a problem with me, they're going to kick me out, and that's going to be humiliating. And I have to watch what I say and watch what I do and everything. And
yeah, you wouldn't want to make sure that your behavior is ethical as a public figure for any other reason, just that you might get kicked off of a foundation. What?
It's humiliating. I shouldn't have to live my life that way. And if they don't want me to be a part of their group, they shouldn't have to be forced to keep me. You know what I'm saying?
They don't, actually, because the way you structured your foundation, they can just kick you off by a majority vote. Maybe you should have done things a little bit differently.
Yeah. Look, you guys know, we all used to be great friends. I couldn't even tell you precisely when that changed, because honestly, we haven't spoken about it.
2001 or 2021, for sure. Absolutely. 2021. Late summer, early fall, 2021. I am as sure as I can be.
We've never had a conversation about it. Mark and Claire have never had a conversation with me about it. Mike's never had a conversation with me about it. I raised $20,000+ for Mike's cancer treatment a few months ago so he could start his treatment. That didn't warrant so much as a phone call. The relationships.
But you shouldn't say that at all. What a slimy thing to say. Dan Willian, there's a whole thing here. I really wish I could bring you up to. Oh, I can actually. There's an article, exclamation point Aaron in the chat. If somebody can do that for me, you can read my article on him and kind of get caught up where this community is on this guy.
I've been sour for a while now, and that's okay. It's okay. This is not the end of the world. Like, personalities are personalities. Things change over time. The Aftermath Foundation. The Aftermath Foundation has been a fantastic organization that's done fantastic work over the next 6 years, and it will, of course, continue to be exactly that. Do I feel betrayed by people who are supposed to be my friends? Yes, I do. Am I angry about that? Yeah, of course I am. Does that mean I'm the good guy and they're the bad guys? No.
I think a lot of you are not great. But of all of the people that I think you're the, if I had to pick a bad guy, it's you. It's Aaron. Yeah. All those people have made mistakes, done shit I didn't like or whatever, but different with Aaron. I think Aaron's about to go on that right wing grift shift because there's a fucking ceiling, right? With you doing anti-Scientology content, there's it's like a glass ceiling. There's a ceiling how big you can get. So I think he's going to do that right wing grift shift over the next 90 days. I think we're going to watch that. Shout out to HK for calling it the right wing grift shift. Yeah, I haven't consumed much of Andrew Gold's stuff, but we might look into him more. Maybe look into him for the next, maybe not this Friday, not this Wednesday tomorrow, but the following Wednesday. I mean, we might do some Andrew Gold.
We're all good guys. We were good guys then. We're all good guys now. Personality conflicts, whatever you want to call it, chalk it up as life. Shit happens. It is largely thanks to my work and my platform and my fundraising and my advocacy that the Aftermath Foundation has close to $250,000 in the bank.
Leah Remini. Does this motherfucker think that people... Does he think that he has more impact on people donating to this foundation than Leah Remini does? Does he think that? Regular people don't know who he is. Regular people know who Leah Remini is, and they know that she used to be a Scientologist. They know about her show. And they promoted the Aftermath Foundation on her show. This guy's... What an egomaniac.
The Aftermath Foundation finally has gotten to a point where it has, and that's information that you can get from publicly available filings. So I'm not like telling tales.
But they didn't all sign a little letter that said I did this because of Aaron.
Here. The foundation has finally been able to accumulate, but also raise, thanks to YouTube, enough funds, more funds than it can easily spend. So the floodgates are open, wide open, on the
through YouTube
requests that the Aftermath Foundation can grant. Not only from people.
So again, so Aaron, you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, oh, well, over here on my channel, I don't represent the Aftermath Foundation and blah, blah, blah. I'm as a personal private citizen, I don't represent the Aftermath Foundation. But then on the other hand, say I, as a private citizen over here on my channel, raised all the money for the Aftermath Foundation while I'm on the board. Like, come on. Like, come on, man. If you're going to throw yourself a pity party, at least get better catering.
For leaving Scientology, but from people who've been out of Scientology for years. In the early days of the foundation, we were very limited on what we could approve. For a long time, we wouldn't even approve any money to help people who were already out of Scientology. We would only approve money to help people who were in the process of leaving Scientology.
Well, you didn't have money.
The reasons for that were purely financial. It wasn't because we didn't want to. And, you realize even if you have a chunk of money on hand, you always have to ask yourself, but how easy would it be to replenish these funds if they were spent? Until the YouTube fundraising platform became, or the YouTube fundraising option became feasible.
So either Either what you're doing here on YouTube is or is not directly related to the Aftermath Foundation. It either is or it is not. Sounds to me like at the beginning it wasn't, and now it is. We're only 17 minutes into the video. Boy, shit changes quick.
Raising money was always a challenge. Raising money is no longer a challenge. Okay. So you can expect the Aftermath Foundation to do even more good work, like expand its scope of good work moving forward. So even more moving forward than has been able.
All thanks to Aaron, who, by the way, does his YouTube channel completely independently of his role for the Aftermath Foundation, but also raised a bunch of money for the Aftermath Foundation, which was on the board of on his YouTube channel while he was on the. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, irate. I think he was at least symbiotic, right? I bet he made more money off of using the name than he raised for the Aftermath Foundation.
To be done in the past. Let me see here. Now, whenever I appear on large platforms talking about my channel or the SPTV phenomena in general, I have always said and have never failed to say that the icing on the cake for what we do here on YouTube is that I can use my platform to personally use my platform to help people who are leaving Scientology.
Yeah, it sounds like these are intertwined. By the way, the first thing you need to say when you go on an interview, if you're the vice president of a charity, is you go, hey, I'm here to talk about my channel and my personal experience leaving Scientology. I'm not speaking on behalf of the Aftermath Foundation. If anybody wants information on the Aftermath Foundation, please visit the website. Boom. Oh, he ain't never done that. Oopsie.
And I'm going to continue to do that. And with the help of some other former Scientologists who regular viewers of my channel will know very well, we're going to be creating a second nonprofit organization to help people who are leaving Scientology. And this is not like a divide and conquer situation. This is not like with one foundation, we're stronger, but with two foundations, we're weaker. It's not like that. It's that your credibility in this realm to some extent relied upon you being the vice president of the Aftermath Foundation. And your credibility in this realm is going to suffer now that you've been kicked off of the Aftermath Foundation because of your behavior as a private citizen who everybody knows is the vice president of the Aftermath Foundation. Dude, nobody on dude, I have to fucking, when this is over, I do want to talk about the Reddit group I joined because I was like pleasantly surprised actually with the Reddit group. Foundations. There should be enough organizations headed up by enough people that if someone doesn't like those people, right now there's only one foundation. So what if someone doesn't like who's running that foundation and doesn't feel good asking that foundation for money? There should be.
Well, then you were the one that people didn't like and they kicked you out. Boom, problem solved, motherfucker.
Foundations. Just like there should be 100 YouTube channels of former Scientologists, there could be 10 foundations.
No, there's not enough money to go around for 10 foundations for this. This is a very niche kind of charity.
Do the good work that I've been doing over the last 6 years.
What?
And I'm going to continue to do that with my own organization, just like the Aftermath Foundation was my own organization.
No, it wasn't.
Honestly, almost exactly 6 years to the day.
You co-founded it with another person, and then there was a whole ass board of directors. If it was your organization, they wouldn't have been able to kick you out.
He called me and said, Aaron, I've got an idea for a nonprofit that will help people to leave Scientology. I said, Luis, we've already discussed this. It's a terrible idea and it will never work. He said, hear me out. And he sold me on this decentralized format of a nonprofit.
Wait, what?
And I said, oh, that would work.
Oh, is it going to be on the blockchain? I bet it'll be on the blockchain. Oh, is it going to be oh no, it's going to be on the blockchain.
And he said, who do you think we should put on the board? I said, I can talk to Mike, Christy, Mark, and Claire. And I think, I can't remember if I called Claire first or Mark first. I'm sorry, Claire first and Mike first.
Oh, he's talking about the formation of, well, it wasn't decentralized, was it? The Aftermath Foundation was centralized.
It was Claire. I said, Claire, Luis just called me. He's got an idea. She goes, that's a terrible idea. It will never work. We've already discussed this. I said, hear me out. And I remember, I closed Claire. Claire told Mark. Mark was good. Same conversation with Mike. Mike, we've got an idea. He said, terrible idea. It will never work. You understand, guys, the pre-runner to the Aftermath Foundation, or the only thing that's even come close as far as a formal organization, was the Lisa McPherson Trust. And one of the biggest problems with the Lisa McPherson Trust is that they had a physical brick and mortar location right in downtown Clearwater, and it gave Scientology something to attack. And Scientology attacked the Lisa.
Oh, when he meant decentralized, he just means not paying for office space. There's plenty of charities like that. That's not a decentralized charity. It's just everybody works from home.
And I won't even tell that whole story. But there had already been many conversations about doing some sort of a new organization to help people. And the conversations always resulted in, don't ever try to repeat the mistakes of the Lisa McPherson Foundation.
Oh, great. Now he's throwing those people under the bus.
The Aftermath Foundation has succeeded in not repeating the mistakes of the Lisa McPherson Foundation.
By not renting office space?
And the decentralized nature of the foundation is part of what has allowed it to succeed.
I'm sorry, this is not what decentralization of a foundation means. This is just everybody works from home and you don't have a physical office. When he said decentralized, I thought he was going to do a new foundation based on, like blockchain or something. It's still centralized. What is he talking about?
And it's basically an internet-based nonprofit. It's been wildly successful. Well, guys, now we're going to have 2 wildly successful foundations. Hopefully we'll have 5 one day, maybe 10. It's all good.
Oh, if it's in JUCO, I bet it's not an office. I bet it's one of those, you have to register your your corporation or your charity with somewhere and have an address. I bet that's the address on file, but I bet it's like my last business. The address on file was just a place where they have addresses on file for businesses. That should probably be illegal, but it's America. What are you going to do?
Point is, this isn't a zero-sum game where we're taking from each other,
but maybe they do have an office and I don't know.
The same slice of the pie. I do want to say, guys, I've already discussed all this with Leah Remini. I want to say that for the record, because I've received a lot of questions about this. I do not have permission to speak for Leah. I will say the following. Leah's sad to see relationships destroyed. She's happy to see new chapters being written. And I will say this. There is someone who has never said to me.
You know what she said? She said, I don't care. She said, I hope you all learn to get along. I'm rich.
Aaron, you're making me look bad. Can you rein it in? You're doing shit and saying shit that makes me look bad. Can you please not do that?
Was Leah Remini ever on the board? I don't think she was ever on the board of the Aftermath Foundation. Leah
Remini's never said that to me.
How often do you think they talk?
Had my back. So thank you for that. Let me see.
Red Half Guard, thank you for the follow.
That is definitely all I have to say on this. I'm going to skip the super chats, guys, because I haven't even been looking at the live chat, and I don't want to go down that path right now.
But you're not going to read your super chats?
That's it, guys. It's Monday. I travel home Wednesday. Thanksgiving is Thursday. You guys know me. I won't be able to keep myself from doing videos on Thanksgiving. So
yeah, me neither. I'll probably be here. I'll probably watch his video. After everybody's all fucking good and full, y'all want to fucking get together and gather as children around the fucking TV and watch this guy's video together?
Probably won't see anything else from me between now and Thursday, but maybe you will. Anyhow, that's it, guys. If I don't stop there, I'll just keep blabbing. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me this evening. I hope the connection was okay.
All right. Well, let's see if we can find a reason why somebody, you know, maybe relations between the people that run this charity and him might have soured. Shall we? What we have here. This was in, I believe, well, actually, I can pull this up. Give me a second. So this was in 2001. This was, where's the date on this? So this was actually, so that's 9. So this would be, thank you for the bits, Monocle, 200 bits. So it'd be September 17th of 2001. This is police body cam footage. Why am I running police body cam footage? Why would I be running Clearwater police body cam footage?
First time hearing about it. I'm the one who called the police. An hour went by. Okay. He thought he heard me calling his girlfriend crazy.
Is a friend of yours?
They're not friends of mine.
Or you said you know them?
I do know the girlfriend, not the guy. I was at Fusion. By the way, 20 people over there just witnessed
All right,
it.
you don't have to get so close,
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, 20 people over there.
I know what you're saying.
Okay, first of all, clearly he's been drinking. The close talking thing, he's not slurring, but the close talking thing is a drunk thing. We all do it. We don't realize we're doing it. You stay, like, no matter if you're the one who called him or the one that got the cops called on you, stay the fuck away from the cops. They're trigger happy. They're cops, you stupid motherfucker. They'll shoot you and then go find your dog and shoot your dog, no matter who you are.
You're from there.
Okay, fine. So what do you want me to
Just keep going.
Okay. I've never even had so much as an extended conversation with her, but I know who she is because we both grew up in Scientology. She said I stalked her like a year ago. I said, do you mean by messaging you on Facebook? Is her boyfriend, who I do not know.
You can follow whatever report you want, but is this regarding you stalking her?
No. Got nothing to do with that.
Sounds like it might. You ran into her and she's like, yo, get away from me. You're a stalker. I mean, that sounds like that might be why everything wasn't so happy down there in Clearwater this day.
Sounds like that's what she was trying to imply.
No. She's drunk. She has no idea what she's saying.
All right, you're one of the bartenders here, right?
Yes.
So, bald guy over there?
He did not start it. Walks over.
Emily just told me that Aaron, the ball guy, was calling the other guy's girlfriend like 5 times.
Did you hear that? That's not a term of endearment here in the United States.
Oh, that'll do it.
So there might be a history there, because as I was getting them to leave, she was going, you're a fucking stalker, I have proof, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, shit. Kelsey gave us $50. Thank you. Now I'm balling like Aaron Smith-Levin. If you caught that, here, we'll go back.
Oh, that'll do it.
So there might be a history there, because as I was getting them to leave, she was going, you're a fucking stalker, I have proof, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, fuck you, blah, blah, so, can't call him somebody's girlfriend.
No, I'm going to say that's going to ruin the night. Alright, so what you saw was the other guy pushing this guy's chair down?
I have been at Fusion for the last 3 or 4 hours, sitting at the bar. I mean, if you want me to get into the details, I asked her and her boyfriend if she would sign my petition. Okay.
What is she saying in all of this?
Nothing. Oh, here's what she said. I told him about what you did, I don't know, a year ago. Which is, I sent her a lot of Facebook messages because she's super fucking hot.
I sent her a lot of Facebook messages. Did you hear that? Redhead Guard just got gifted a tier 1 sub by Juco, and it looks like we have a hype train. But anyway, check this out again.
A year ago, which is I sent her a lot of Facebook messages because she's super fucking hot. There's no animosity.
I sent her a lot of Facebook messages because she's super fucking hot. And there's no animosity. Everything was chill. I just kept messaging her on Facebook because she's super fucking hot.
But she brought up the whole thing about you stalking her. So there's a little bit of animosity.
Well, she brought it up.
Even the cop is like, well, wait a minute.
But she brought up the whole thing about you stalking her. So there's a little bit of animosity.
Well,
It's not, I'm sorry. This kind of abusive behavior isn't funny. It's just that the cop keenly stated the obvious. Yeah, casually incriminating one. Just a little bit of light Facebook stalking. It's fine. She's a 9.
she brought it up. She's fucking crazy. Guess what I'm saying?
She brought it up when you ran into her and asked her to sign your petition. So, according to Aaron, essentially, a mix between Aaron and what I think was either the bar manager or the bar owner was saying is that Aaron was out gathering signatures to run for office at a bar. He asked this lady who had been stalking to sign this petition, which seems like something, maybe you don't do that. And then something like, fuck you, stalker. I told my boyfriend everything about what you did. You need to leave us alone. Oh, I can do a Madison Star here. Yeah. We'll go back to we'll click back on this.
They're talking about stuff that they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
And this guy is talking about stuff he doesn't know what he's doing.
There's no animosity.
But she brought up the whole thing about you stalking her. So there's a little bit of animosity.
Well, she brought it up. She's fucking crazy. Guess what I'm saying? She brought up something that happened 18 months ago.
Okay.
Where while I was really drunk, I sent her a bunch of Facebook messages. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know. She's super hot. I'm sorry.
You keep saying why do you keep telling the law enforcement that you were sending this person a bunch of Facebook messages because they're hot? Like, you're putting this on the record. They're not going to come after you for a crime on this. It's actually really hard to get somebody for internet stalking, but you're putting this on the record. These police have body cams. I was drunk and she was hot. And he was out collecting signatures to get on the ballot to run for Clearwater City Council when this happened. Now, listen, I'm not a political consultant, so I don't know exactly how you're supposed to behave while you're out collecting signatures. You've previously stalked someone on Facebook. Probably a good idea to leave them alone.
She would try to de-escalate, and so was the boyfriend. Until he did it the 5th time. The guy said,
look, the cop said she was trying to, like, again, I don't trust the fucking police here. But, because a lot of this was redacted because people didn't want to be on the video. That's how police, like, if you're not the complaint, if you're not the person, if you don't get arrested, they have to blur your face out if they release it. Something like that. The laws might be different in Florida, but they probably edited some of this out, or it was silenced. But what they've gathered at this point now is that actually the boyfriend and this lady were trying to de-escalate the situation. Which is, you're out drinking. Hell yeah. If you have a chance to de-escalate any situation while you're out drinking, if you're sober enough to do it, de-escalate that situation. Because, like, angry and alcohol do not go together. You don't want those together.
that's what I understood.
So let me ask you something. So some of the bartenders inside said that they heard your conversation. Okay, so I'm gonna just spit out what they told me.
Go ahead.
Basically, we're talking to this girl, and I heard, the word is that you didn't just say she was crazy, but I heard, you slipped out a couple of, really bad words to this girl.
Wait, to the girl?
To the girl.
Oh, I wasn't even talking to the girl. I was talking to the guy next to me. The girl.
Oh, that's great. The guy sitting next to, like, he's not like my friend or the guy I went to the bar with. Just the guy next to me. He's like, this lady called me crazy. didn't want to sign my petition, suggested that maybe I was stalking her. And then what I did, I guess, to the guy next to me, I'm like, dames. Dames. God damn it.
I wasn't even talking to her.
So this is the acquaintance of yours, but you're not talking to her. You're talking to somebody else, but you're talking about her.
Correct.
And somebody overheard.
Well,
now I'm starting to think this all happened in a hipster coffee shop. Like Aaron's version doesn't make sense.
I guess her boyfriend overheard.
Well, she said she overheard too, so...
I believe that.
Okay, the boyfriend now defending the honor of his girlfriend steps to you.
But do my words justify him punching me in the face and knocking me down?
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Granted, the answer to that is no, okay? But my wife is with me at a bar, and I'm hearing this guy talking about my wife.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
I agree.
What do you expect me to do about it?
Well, legally?
Go up to you, hey man, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, he's a cop. He just whoops the guy's ass with no consequence. Let's not get it twisted here.
Legally?
Man to man, what would you do?
Man to man, I might have one answer, but legally, I'm talking about that motherfucker assaulted me.
Two different witnesses, both who are 100% sober.
Well, they weren't even there. They were outside. Those witnesses were outside. They heard the car.
Which witnesses do you think I'm referring to?
Well, the reason I'm assuming that I know is because all those people are good people. They're not lying. I did call her a cunt after the assault. 40 minutes earlier, I was asking her to sign a petition. I'm not just...
But yeah. That's where the altercation started. You could have just left her the fuck alone. Like, you could have just... If you would have just... Why are you at a bar at night drinking, trying... Like, this... No, this isn't how you get petitions to run for office either. It's fine to go out drinking if you're running for office, but you better be on your fucking best behavior. And while you're out there drinking, don't ask people to sign a petition for your run for office.
Calling a girl a cunt at a bar.
Aaron was calling his girlfriend 5 times, and he finally just had enough and he got on the walk over.
Yeah. Like, I don't think the guy should have assaulted Aaron, but like, yeah, if I was on the board of a charity, I would be like, we should probably not have this particular guy as one of the people on the board of the charity. So, month and a half later, Aaron somehow gets the signatures from people that I guess didn't beat him up for calling their girlfriend a slur. And then he decided he was going to start doing some press. Well, I don't know if there's words that can describe the gigantic fuck up I'm about to show you.
Well, welcome back to True News. Several times in 2021, we have reported on cases of Scientology infiltration into Christian churches and ministries and conservative right political organizations. Following our report on Lee Dundas speaking at Clay Clark's Reawaken America tour, some members of the True News audience recommended that I interview Mr. Aaron Smith-Levin.
Odd that Rick Wiles' White Power Hour audience would intersect with Aaron Smith-Levin's audience. That's interesting. I find that. I wonder if you find that interesting.
He is a former second-generation Scientologist. He left the cult in 2014 and now manages the Aftermath Foundation, a nonprofit organization that helps people escape the Scientology cult. He is currently running for a seat on the City Council of Clearwater, Florida, the home of the largest Scientology organization in the world. So it's a pleasure to welcome to True News, Aaron Smith-Levin. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay. Well, what do you suppose happens when you search for Rick Wiles? Click on the internet. You you don't spend a lot of time on it, but you just punch his name into Google, say. What do you suppose you find? Like immediately. Well, I did it yesterday. The first result is the Anti-Defamation League. Rick Wiles, End Times, Anti-Semitism. Second one is 24 representatives demand White House deny true news. It's a press pass. ADL Backgrounder, that's the Anti-Defamation League. We have our problems with them, but they're right about Rick Wiles. Right-wing pastor gets COVID after saying vaccine. Well, this is about Rick Wiles. There's The Independent has a whole thing about Rick Wiles. Here's something from Ron Wyden. Like you get the gist pretty quick, actually, after you search for Rick Wiles. You don't really. It's kind of unambiguous. And maybe if one were to spend, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes digging a little bit deeper on Rick Wiles, you might, I don't know, maybe you find something like this.
Our culture has been decimated.
Yes.
Through abortion, pornography, the sexual liberation movement, filthy, raunchy movies, television shows, violent rap music and hip hop and all owned, all of it owned by the synagogue of Satan.
Oh, all of it, the media, all these institutions owned by, did you say the synagogue of Satan? This was 2 years before he went on Rick Wiles' show, and I just searched for him on Right Wing Watch and found that. So, oopsie. Oh, here we go. See where to go here. And here, Aaron, he just didn't know.
I learned a valuable lesson this week, which is always research the history of people who ask to interview you about Scientology, at least when you're running for Clearwater City Council. Some lessons just gotta get...
at least when you're running for City Council, it would have been fine to actually go on the Rick Wiles White Power Hour. If I wasn't running for City Council, I mean, come on. I'm just a vice president of a charitable foundation.
Hard way, and I wish this had not been one of them, but it was, and lesson learned. I've been doing this channel now for 5 years or so, been talking about Scientology, been talking about some other groups, been talking about Clearwater for, going on 5 years now. And I've simply never run into a situation before where I got bit in the butt by not researching the history of someone that I was going to talk to. And just to clarify, because most people probably don't know what I'm talking about, I'd been contacted and was asked to do an interview about the subject of Scientology with an organization called True News. I'd never heard of them before, so I checked out their Twitter, checked out their website, didn't see anything unusual or alarming. They looked to me to just be a very conservative, Christian-based news organization.
Yes, and if you were just the slightest bit curious, you might be like, well, there are many good people who are very religious, and there are, some good people who are conservative, but maybe this seems very politically charged, and I should take a look. No. Check this out. He's going to tell you in a second the way he did his research. He didn't even Google it.
So I did the interview. It was actually a really good interview. The guy asked a lot of good questions. I had an opportunity to give a lot of very thorough, meaty, lengthy answers explaining why exactly is it that Scientology has been trying to infiltrate these Christian groups. We had a good conversation. At this time, I'm still completely oblivious to the controversial and anti-Semitic nature of this organization's or this group's beliefs. Some of the things that these people associated with this organization have said are very, very offensive, very, very anti-Semitic, and I was completely oblivious and ignorant to this. And if I'm being really reflective about this, I have never associated Christianity, even very extreme forms of, I don't know what you would call their form of Christianity. I mean,
it's like some end time shit, dude.
In fact, Christians may call their form of Christianity not Christianity at all. But what I'm trying to say here is it's never been on my radar to think, wonder, or suspect whether certain Christian groups or certain brands of Christianity would have this streak of anti-Semitism.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know a ton of Christians, they aren't anti-Semitic.
Yeah, his research was I know a ton of Christians who aren't anti-Semitic. Come the fuck on, man. Yeah, somebody in chat was like, no, this is your job as a media personality. So now that's there's other stuff. There was the stuff with Alex Stein 99 that I'm not going to get into, but it's in my blog that you can read. But you would think that the foundation, those two things having happened within 60 days of each other, you would think that at that point, the foundation would have removed him.